Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the closed qualifiers for the Los Angeles Major. My name is Veewake. We have Fnatic facing off versus Lowkey Esports here. I'm just going to quickly get the game audio up and going. I just noticed that it was missing from the game. But yeah, Fnatic versus Lowkey. Not too many expectations from Lowkey. I mean, they came in through the open qualifier, but they have got really solid players in their squad. Fly Solo. He's the one that's going to be drafting, at least that's what it appears like. Sam H, he's been around for years, part of the Dream TNC roster back in the day. So yeah, we should have some fun Dota. And Fnatic, they've got Sunby, who's joined them as a coach. They boot camped in the EU before the major, and star players through and through. Questions have come up in the past about 23 Savage and his stability and his maturity as a player. And hopefully we do get to see him do well in this tournament. First phase bans, always very interesting as to how any one team reads the patch. I've seen a lot of Husker first phase, even in the EU quals. I think OG banned it out just so that Void Spirit has a good time in the mid lane. Just kind of opens up the mid lane and make sure that the mid lane doesn't quite get cheesed. Lowkey, they're going to ban out the Snapfire, and if they want the Void Spirit for Fnatic, they couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. But they're not big believers in the Void Spirit. They're going to pick up the Earthshaker. That does allow Morph plus ES if they want to fall back to something that's very old school. But yeah, options available for the side of Fnatic. And Void Spirit going to get picked up by Lowkey Esports along with the Rubik. Yeah, not a bad game for the Rubik at all. You've got some pretty good spells to steal. I mean, you already have great spells from the Earthshaker that you can always steal. You have some instant lockdown, and just a good all-season 4. Not the best lane support, but can pull through. Not too bad either. Fnatic though, I think they could pick up their next support. Personally, I like the Grimstroke. But they're going to go with the Slaughter. I guess this is a position 3 Slaughter, not a position 4 Slaughter. Yeah, it should be a position 3 Slaughter. So they revealed Ice as hero very early on. I don't see the Slaughter being played as a 5. Don't see him going mid. You already have a 4 in the Earthshaker, unless they do something like, I mean, you already have, yeah, unless they do something like core Earthshaker and put the Slaughter 4. This is pretty obviously going to be a core Slaughter coming out from Fnatic. They ban out the PL, which is kind of surprising, despite them having the Earthshaker. Ench gets banned out. So Lowkey aren't quite buying the Slaughter as a core. Or maybe they're just banning out the Ench because, well, they don't want to play against the support Ench. But yeah, Ench just getting banned out here. Good amount of lockdown between the Earthshaker and the Slaughter. mix of physical and magical damage, and the corrosive haze is always handy if they want to catch the void spirit and chase him and keep tabs on him, keep vision on him, uh, post his astral step. Um, I'm a bit surprised that Fnatic ban out the PL, but they're banning out basically all illusion-based heroes. I think one logic for these set of bans might be that Fnatic are considering maybe the Morphling. Uh, these are some of the better heroes to ban if you're looking at the Morphling. PL is definitely one of the better heroes against the Morphling. And yeah, I mean, I call it at least Lowkey thinks that they're looking at picking up the Morphling, so they're just gonna ban it out. I am honestly a bit shocked that I guess this stuff every once in a while. I think this is just luck. Lich gonna get picked up by Loki Esports. Standard fire, good lane support. The armor that much better on the Void Spirit. He's already got the Resonant Pulse, absorbing physical damage, and then you drop the Frost Shield upon him. So he should be alive and healthy in fights. Next ban, or rather next pick, excuse me, for Fnatic. The Morphling for 23 Savage, not an option. PL, I remember PL just being one of his better heroes. But Fnatic don't have to really commit to picking up a hero for him. They can just look for a 5 that Jabs is comfortable with. Not a fan of the CM, although the mana is nice, the aura is nice. I don't know what's Jabs gonna be comfortable on. Okay, I mean they just don't care about Jabs. They're gonna pick up the troll very early on. So 2 cores revealed from Fnatic. This is an odd approach to their draft because these cores I don't want to say they're really flex picks. I mean I'm pretty certain that the Slaughter is a core here. And they're going to pick one of the better heroes versus the troll. They're going to pick up the Razor, just sap away at his damage. So even with the battle trance, he's not doing any damage at all. Great stuff coming up from Lowkey, and I'm honestly a bit puzzled as to why they picked up the troll this early on in that draft. I did see OG pick up the troll yesterday versus Tempo. Um, I guess Troll is a little bit more viable. He was generally considered one of the stronger safe laners because he can handle himself against most aggressive lanes back then, back when teams are very, very stuck on the 2-1-2. Um, so, yeah, Troll was kind of favored back then. But personally, I find it a bit odd that Fnatic are this comfortable revealing their cores this early on. This is where they pick a fight, right? And you keep mid for your last pick. I really don't think there's much you can gain by saving the support pick for the very end. So, Fnatic, they're looking for a 5. I don't mind them having some sort of a savior versus the Void Spirit. Any defensive 5 would be really nice. Uh, but hey, what do I know about Dota? They're just going to pick up the Dead Prophet. That Prophet, okay, that hero has had nerf after nerf. Movement speed, Spirit Siphon, pretty much everything getting buffed up on that hero. Uh, quick quick amount of like just a ridiculous amount of buffs for this hero. A lot of movement speed being given to her in 7.24, so more movement speed means that she can slow you down even more with Spirit Siphon and just secure kills. She's somewhat good uh, at laning also right now because well, she's been buffed in terms of movement speed, right? So she can just trade Harris better with the Spirit Siphon. And the only problem I have for Fnatic with this Dead Prophet is that they can't. I mean, they're going to play around the timing of Exorcism. So every time they have Exorcism, they're going to try and make some play across the map. When they don't have it, they're going to be kind of restricted in what they do. Fun fact about the Dead Prophet, this is the one hero that had the highest win rate increase in the Immortal bracket after 7.24. She had a 7% increase in win rate. And that is honestly quite surprising because I feel that, look, she's a great hero, but nobody quite figured out how she's meant to be played. She's been off meta for a while. Teams haven't been playing the Dead Prophet. Suddenly she gets a couple of buffs. She's a 7% win rate increase. And now hopefully teams are starting to figure out how to get back to this hero. I'm curious to see if the Ags is going to be an item of choice. Maybe she gets the Yule Scepter early on just so that she has some survivability versus the Void Spirit, set up for the Silence. And yeah, she should have a fun time in lane versus the Void Spirit. This is not a matchup I've seen before, but I think the Dead Prophet is going to do rather well. Uh, Last ban on the board here for Lowkey. They're looking to ban out a support, and this is weird. They're expanding the last ban on a support. I really can't think of one support that causes a lot of troubles for the side of Lowkey esports. But Shaman wouldn't be a bad ban necessarily. Gives Fnatic a little more push, more control. But the Shaman is really out of meta. I mean, if you look at Jabs, I remember him playing the Lich the most at the major. He played a lot of Lich. Okay, so they're going to ban out the Bane. Shaman Bane. Similar in the sense that both offer a lot of control. I think the Bane would have been a lot easier because the commitment for Fiend's Grip is a lot less than Shackle. You're not throwing your body forward if you want to go and get a Fiend's Grip. So, fair enough. They're going to ban out the Bane. Decent ban coming out from Lowkey and Fnatic. What are they looking to remove here? So, this is clearly a mid Void Spirit. A safe lane Razor. So, they're looking to ban out a Sam 8 Cheeto. They ban out the Naga Siren. So they're reading either the Razor or the Void Spirit as a 3. Personally, I'd like to see them ban out the Batrider because the Batrider is one of the better heroes versus the Troll Warlord. But yeah, Sam H is going to have his Batrider if he wants it. And Fnatic don't really have much of a save versus this Batrider. Maybe with this last pick, they could pick up something like an Oracle or something along those lines just so that they have a save versus the Lasso. And yeah, I'd really like to see an Oracle here. You have one way of dispelling the sticky napalm with the Fortune's End. And you also have kill potential with the troll if that's what you want from your lane. Last pick on the board here for Fnatic. They're looking for a 5. Unless this is some weird shit like a 5 Slada. And then they're looking for an Ice hero. One thing's for certain though about this Fnatic lineup, that right now on paper, they scale better, right? Corrosive Haze, great at the later stages of the game. And for some reason, yet again, I call another pick. So it is the Oracle that they're going to pick up. This is going to ensure that Lowkey do not have the option of a Batrider, at least not in the offlane. And even if they do, it's not the most viable option really. They've got to save as well. So Fnatic, yeah, I was saying that draft scales really well. The troll, as the game goes longer and longer, just gets better and better. While Lowkey kind of start to fall off, they really have a big gap to fill with this last pick of theirs, which is a Sam H hero. Or which is not a Sam H hero. So they go mid Tinker. Huh. So is this an offlane Void Spirit? Yep, guys, this is the first game of offlane Void Spirit that I'm casting. Sam H is going to be playing the Void Spirit in the offlane. I don't know if Lowkey are going to switch things up. But yeah, Lowkey, they close out their draft with a little bit more high ground defense. They just want to drag this game. But I'm not quite sure if dragging the game is really in their favor. Because personally, for me, the troll is pretty much going to outscale the cores on the side of Lowkey. I don't know. I mean, I've seen Void Spirit build the Octarine and just go the physical damage route. But I'm not quite sure if it's going to be enough to keep up with the troll. And the Corrosive Haze coming out from the Slada. Slada also has the option of scaling into the late game. But yeah, mid matchup, Dead Prophet versus Tinker. They don't put the Void Spirit mid. So the Void Spirit did kind of act like a flex pick for the side of Lowkey. It's going to be a mid Tinker versus the Dead Prophet. So don't really see anyone coming out on top. Moon should be able to find his farm. If 413 is a bit out of position on his Tinker. Sure, he can get brought down rather easily. But yeah, Moon should be absolutely okay in the mid lane. 23 Savage is going to be going up versus a Void Spirit. This is a lane where they do have kill potential. I think Sam H might be wanting to put an early skill point into Dissimulate. Of late, we've been seeing Void Spirits just skip Dissimulate and put points into the Aether Remnant and the Resonant Pulse. Just skipping the Dissimulate early on. But I think he needs a point in this game, in the offlane. Not quite sure what the textbook is for offlane Void Spirit. But yeah, I think Sam H can start writing it about now. Fnatic versus Lowkey, our first match of the day at the ESL Los Angeles Southeast Asia close qualifier. My name is Veewake and the day is young. There's got a lot of matches coming up through the day. I'm going to just even share the brackets with you folks in chat. I think we have two groups that are playing simultaneously today. Just going to quickly drop down the brackets for you folks so you guys can go and check out the brackets yourselves. But yeah, I think TNC is playing IO Dota. Okay.
Your anger is useless here.
So Sam H, what does he start with on this offlane Void Spirit? Ring of Protection, a little bit of armor versus the physical damage coming out from the Troll. A lot of tangos and the Quelling Blade. The Quelling Blade is an interesting choice. He's got... I mean, Void Spirit has a good amount of base damage and a very good attack animation. But look at this. They really don't care about their laning. They're just going to run straight into Fnatic. The Frost Blast is there. Sam H has the Aether Remnant. They're going to catch 23 Savage. Quick Dispel with the Fortune's End. The damage, though, might just be a bit too much. Another nuke from the Lich. And first blood going the way of Lowkey Esports. As Tinker, of all heroes, gets that extra money. That's going to be his bottle coming up a bit closer. Lowkey, they're even going to secure themselves the outpost. Just in case. And pick up a couple of bounty runes. So it's 9:30 in the morning for me in my part of the world. But what a way to wake up. Great start from Lowkey Esports. I'm going to really be enjoying this game if they're just going to keep running at Fnatic. This is what their lineup is somewhat better at. They're more mid-game focused. With the Razor, with the Void Spirit. So if you get to see more of this, I have no complaints at all. Not quite sure if Lowkey Esports are going to run an aggressive trial lane down bottom. The Rubik is hanging around. 23 Savage. Doesn't quite get the welcome he was hoping in the morning. But yeah. First blood, a little bit of gold. All that gold going over to the Tinker. He's queued up his bottle. I think he completed his null, right? That's what he chose to go for. Look at this. I mean, teams have started to wisen up to the fact that one too many couriers are just getting sniped in general in this patch. And the Rubik, he spots the courier. No, what? He hit a creep? No, Lucifer. No. But that's him missing out on a lot of EXP. He's going to be able to drag the wave. If nothing else, that's going to help out Sam H. Yeah. He's got the wave pushing in. It's going to just swing right back past the tower and he should be able to get some CS. Ice though. Applying a lot of pressure. Fly solo. Forced to come into the lane. I mean, Ice is that kind of player which can just be a real nuisance to lane against if nothing else. Jabs. Trying his best to force out regen here. The mid lane matchup, how's it looking? So, like I mentioned, I think Moon should be having a good time. Ice gets picked off up top. All by himself. His support nowhere inside. It was DJ just trying to pull back the creep wave. Ice is going to be disappointed, but he's got a wave pushing in. So, once he TPs, he's going to have some EXP to himself. Already level 2, so good start for the Slaughter. Down bottom, the Rubik's got to be careful. The range whirling axes are there, and he is dropping low with the Orb of Venom. He's going to end up falling. 23 Savage with that value Orb of Venom, just adding to the damage and making the Rubik's life more difficult. You don't see many offlaners drop this Observer Ward early on. I think it's the ward that's primarily responsible for ISSI is just messing with the creep equilibrium. DJ going to be playing that Earthshaker. Down bottom, the troll. 23 Savage, he's not off to a bad start in terms of CS. He is ahead of the Razor. He did give away first blood, but he seems to be recovering fairly okay. Sam H doing, I mean, he's trying to skip the wave as well. Does Resonant Pulse get dispelled? Okay, so the Urkel is actually somewhat a big counter to the Void Spirit, so he can dispel the damage block coming up from the Resonant Pulse with the Fortune's End. I mean, I'm gonna have to hold on to that thought, as ISS does incur a fair amount of damage, but he's gonna be okay. Back at mid, DJ trying to set up for a kill. A decent Fisher could be the Tinker's undoing, but Moon is somewhat just giving away his position. I think Tinker did spot out the Earthshaker. There is this Dire Observer ward. So he's known for a while that DJ is just hanging around the mid lane, wasting time possibly. Fisher did come through from DJ, but it's not going to net a kill. Moon is really not relying on the Fisher, as he's just going to try and run down 413. He's got another Spirit Siphon. DJ has the Fisher just in case, but the nuke more than enough. The Crypt Swarm will secure the kill. Is it still called Crypt Swarm? I remember that was the name. Yeah, in Dota 1 at least. I think it was. Fly solo there, but couldn't really do all that much. That's a little disappointing for the Tinker. I mean, he had the Observer ward, and despite having the Observer ward, he still gets brought down by Moon. Not Moon plus the Earthshaker. He knew that Fnatic was setting up for a kill in the mid lane, and despite having vision, he ends up falling. I mean, you got to be a little pissed at yourself when stuff like that happens. Up top, Ice, not really being contested all that heavily. There was a fair amount of kill potential between the Razor and the Lich, but they're just letting the Slaughter farm. Teehee, I mean, he started to fall behind the Slaughter in terms of CS, so Ice really having a great time in this offlane. Fly Solo is going to pick up the bounty runes, and I think maybe now Lowkey can try and set up for a kill up top. The scan did clip the Lich, so I think Fnatic know exactly where he is. Fly Solo though, he's going to try and contest this pull from Ice. 3 charges of the bash, and he finally does get the bash to proc. Fly Solo is going to drop the Frost Shield upon him. Ice still chasing him till the ends of the earth. Problem is the neutrals got in on the action. I think Fnatic, they've scouted out the stacks that the Tinker's prepped up. There's at least one hard camp which has been stacked. And Ice somehow has ended up in the mid lane. No one's really looking for a kill. Sam H on the Void Spirit isn't doing all that bad. So both offlaners getting the start that they would have hoped for. The problem though, for the side of Lowkey, is that Troll is doing a lot better than the Razor. And that is real concerning. But yeah, I guess the Razor just gets a couple of items. Maybe a drums, maybe not, and he just starts getting active around the map. Speaking of getting active, Moon in the top lane with a haste rune should find Fly Solo at least. Exorcism committed? That is heavy. He does have a TP, he's going to commit it, but the physical damage is just a bit too much as Moon finds a double kill. They can't even TP away from the Dead Prophet, and 23 Savage, he's looking for some action of his own down bottom. Samage there with the Resonant Pulse. Both teams jostle in the mid lane. Nobody quite finds a kill. But Moon, where's his siege creep? Did his siege creep die? That's rather unfortunate. He would have loved to have kept that siege creep alive. But nonetheless, they should be finding the tower. Yep, no TPs coming out from the side of Lowkey. That's the Razor and his rather static laning phase coming to an abrupt halt. Moon just finds that tier 1 tower. Looks like they even got the D ward on this Observer. I'm not quite sure when this was placed, but it was before the 5-minute mark. They should have been able to get a D ward. Moon with 2 nulls getting active across the map. Finds Fly Solo. The Frost Shield is there, but Largely magical damage coming out from Moon. One more auto attack should do the trick. Fly Solo falls. Lucifer is here, but DJ is there with the Fisher as the Rubik, caught on the wrong side of the tracks, will end up falling. Moon just finding kill after kill. 4 kills to his name just within the 10-minute mark. And this net worth advantage that you're looking at right now, that the 2000 net worth in favor of Fnatic, I'm sure that's largely coming out from Moon, the Tar, and the fact that the Troll is just having a better lane than the Razor. DJ, I mean, he knows that he doesn't need to do all that much. He can just spend quality time in the jungle, start building towards his own blink. 413. It's got to be careful because from the north, you do have Moon coming in, but Moon thinks the better of it. He's just going to go steal some camps. And now Fnatic are farming the enemy jungle. Lowkey, they started out with a lot of purpose with that early movement finding first blood. But since then, it's been quiet. Moon, all by himself on the enemy side of the river. Ice just drives by. They really do not want to take this fight under the march close to Lowkey's star. But they do have great vision behind it. So they know when folks are starting to come in. DJ, though, he's looking to set up for a kill up top. The Fisher is available. He's going to go with the Fisher. Ice, his movement halted for a second. The crush is there, but he's stealing a lot of damage. It's 76 stolen damage. The Frost Shield doesn't quite come through, but the Eye of the Storm does get committed. Ice is okay, though. I mean, no one's really chasing him. Moon looking for the wraparound. Should find the courier if nothing else. And now we look towards the Rubik. The Spit Siphon does get disjointed. Rubik okay for the time being. And the Dire do manage to claim the outpost, but Moon at mid, just committing the exorcism, skipping the wave, has friends in the area. Jabs, trying to deny the sentry. Was that the play? I'm not quite sure, but Moon, with the Spit Siphon, will just sell for the Lich to get things going. The Corrosive Haze is there, a Fisher just in case, and now they can look towards the top. Not much time on the exorcism, and the Glyph also being tossed out by Lowkey. I don't think they're going to find the star as easily as they'd like. But they are putting pressure across the map on Lowkey. All of this has been space for DJ to just farm his Blink Dagger. Sam H, he's been rather quiet. Looks like he's building towards the Vlads. I don't know what to make of it. This is the first time I'm seeing an offlane Void Spirit. Not really a fan of this hero being played in the offlane. But yeah, if there's one man that can prove what offlane Void Spirit is all about, it's Sam H. .23 Savage did give away first blood, but he's made a very healthy recovery. Not building towards the Battle Fury. I was just wondering if we'd see more trolls explore the option, more cores in general just consider the Battle Fury. It was something that was quite popular on the troll once upon a time. And now with the increased damage against heroes, I thought we'd be seeing more of it. But nope, no Battle Fury for 23 Savage. Ice farming the enemy jungle. I mean, right now it's really Tinker and Sam H, the only two cores that have a lane. Fnatic have kind of eased the aggression. Up top, Ice has got to be careful. He's really in no man's land. A bit too deep. DJ not in the area. This should be him falling. The Frost Blast is there. Sam H, the enemy offlaner, does get brought down, but reinforcements have not yet arrived for Ice. I thought that was the Oracle's fortunes, but it was a stolen one for the Rubik. Despite all of that, they still can't bring down Ice. So Sam H falls, and Ice stays alive and healthy. Well, at least Lowkey will just get that outpost back, if nothing else. Okay. Back at mid. Apologies for that, folks. Was just trying to get my spectating issues fixed. Moon has got to be careful. The Fortune's End will root him in place. Sam H also wants in on the action, but Lowkey are somewhat doubting themselves. They're really hesitant as to whether they should be taking a fight or not right now versus Fnatic. Moon is going for the Yule Scepter. More movement speed for him. And a way to somewhat time the silence. DJ, I mean, he did use his Echo Slam somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. But doesn't quite find a kill. Ice still just being a nuisance, owning the enemy jungle. And ensuring that this Razor doesn't get any space to farm. Hecti, he's behind his own Void Spirit in terms of net worth. And now Fnatic, they're looking for a fight in the mid lane. Ice just surges through. Gets a little bit of information. Gets welcomed by the heat-seeking missile. And backs off. As Moon is going to commit his third exorcism on the game. They really want this tier 1 tower. This is what they've been playing around for the past minute or so, and the Frost Shield will make life a little bit difficult for Moon. But yeah, Lowkey committing heavy resources to defending this tier 1 tower. 4 heroes, for all intents and purposes, sitting in the mid lane to hold on to this tower for dear life. I think Fnatic would be better off just pushing out top, right? I mean, they could do damage to this tier 2 if nothing else. But Tinker, he's aware of this. Let's try to hold the push. 23 Savage in No Man's Land has got to be careful. The Dispel is there from the Fortune's End. The Fate's Edict actually stopping 23 Savage from getting off any physical damage, but with the False Promise, he should be able to TP out. Jab's not that fortunate, as he does make sure that his troll ends up surviving, but pays with his own life. Back at main, Moon gets a little bit of space, brings her tower down to 400 points of health, but doesn't quite get what he was looking for. Fnatic, I mean, exerting a lot of pressure across the map, but not finding any objectives. Definitely shutting down the Razor. I think as soon as Earthshaker does manage to complete his Blink Dagger, that's when they're going to try and look for these fights. Because Ice is not building towards a Blink Dagger anytime soon. Looks like he's going to be going for the hood, and he's actually found Fly Solo in the trees in the middle of nowhere. Ice does get caught, and this might be his death. Yep, they're going to circle around. There's the Telekinesis. Sam H there with the Astral Step. The Stolen Purifying Flames, and another Astral Step from Sam H will secure the kill. Ice falls. His hood does get delayed, but he did force 3 or 4 heroes to move towards the bottom half of the map. And Fnatic, they're going to smoke on the back of this. Both supports, the Blink Dagger reveal is what they're really aiming for with DJ. Teehee with the Mask of Madness. The Fisher should come out, but yeah, with no creeps in the area, there's not much kill potential on the 2 supports on the side of Fnatic. So they're just going to swing up top. They're going to start applying pressure to the top tower, while Moon should eventually be able to bring down this mid-tier 1 tower. So, although Fnatic have been applying a lot of pressure mid, I just wish they were split pushing top a little better. It's not like they've done a particularly bad job, but it just seems that top is not as shoved in as it could be sometimes. Tower does lose a third of his HP, but yeah, Fnatic, they are definitely controlling the northwest of the map. And they have Ice farming safely all the way in the safe lane. DJ going to be able to TP out. Lucify did have the Aether Lens, but didn't quite find the range for the Telekinesis. That is a lot of damage from the Razor once he gets the static link off. Moon just moving into the enemy jungle. He's got a Yule Scepter, doesn't even need it. The silence is there. The root coming out from the Oracle. Quick little nuke. And Lucify ends up falling to the Purifying Flames and the Crypt Swarm. Moon, he's searching for more. He's found Fly Solo with the Yule Scepter. The Crypt Swarm there doing a lot of damage. Fly Solo hogging the trees, trying to TP. Won't make it as Moon finds himself a double kill. And Ice comes in looking for more. Fnatic find both the supports. They do have the Exorcism. They could look to push the top tier 2 tower. But instead, Moon is immediately going to swing back mid. But they are trying to catch this pesky Tinker. Lowkey just really dodging all these fights, but kudos to them. I mean, they've kept the net worth even. 70 minutes in, this is really anyone's game, but I think I said this at the beginning of the draft that as this game goes later and later, I kind of side more with Fnatic because they have heroes that scale better into the late game, while Lowkey Esports have the Tinker, which is just painful to play against in the late game. So yeah, as this Tinker becomes more and more a force of nature, it's going to boil down to DJ and his ability to catch him. Heck, maybe even Ice, but it's going to boil down to the both of them. 23 Savage, he's gone for the Sanjanyasha. Looks like he's building towards either a BKB or a Basher. So whether he gets the BKB or not, he's going to have a lot of status resistance that he's going to be building towards. The Satanic, definitely an option for the Troll. And with the Sanjanyasha, that's a fair amount of status resistance. We did see the 8-minute bounties. Haven't seen any since then. Fisher in a silence, but nope. The Resonant Pulse and the Frost Shield keeping the Samage Void Spirit healthy for the time being. 23 Savage did get the tier 2 tower up top. Moon is pushing in mid. And immediately Lowkey start moving further southeast. They claim an outpost. Fnatic, they're going to smoke. They roughly know where Lowkey are. Lowkey are in their jungle, and if they do catch them unaware, this could be a big win. They're scan clipped. So Fnatic pretty much know where they are. They don't want fly solo. They want a core. Fnatic will sell for the courier at least. Ice does snipe it. The Echo Slam decent. It does find Samage and the Razor. The Chain Frost bounces around. DJ dies. No real follow-up to that Echo Slam. 23 Savage wants to go in, but Tinker join the fray courtesy the outpush and the creeps in the area. False Promise being dropped. The Aether Remnant does control the Troll. He's not getting an opportunity. Pops that Battle Trance. Finally will pop it. Gets working on Teehee. The Razor melts and Samage. With the Corrosive Haze upon him, they've got tabs on where this Void Spirit is in the map. The silence there from Moon. Samage will melt as the Spirit Siphon gets to work on him. Razor in the trees doing his best to hold back Fnatic, but 2 cores fall for the side of Lowkey Esports. The outpost is claimed yet again, and a great movement across the map coming up from Fnatic. They tell them like a book. A big fucking book in page 40 font. Size 40 font. Ice, he's got the hood moving towards the first half. I mean, it's a great save to have. They would really like one versus the Razor. It's really good to just break the link. And sometimes March does seem to be a bit of a nuisance, does end up cancelling your Blink Dagger. You could, of course, use the pipe to take a little bit of damage from the March, but make sure that your Blink doesn't get cancelled. DJ should be able to blink away to safety. Back up top though, they've found Teehee. The Corrosive Haze upon him. The Spit Siphon will not get cancelled. Samage there with the Yule Scepter and the Aether Remnant. Fair amount of control, but there comes the nuke. The Crypt Storm should be enough to bring down the Razor, but Moon dropping really, really low. Does have the Spit Siphon. Samage does have the Frost Shield upon himself, but Lowkey, they lose the Razor close to their tier 3 tower, and they can't even punish Fnatic. Heck, Ice doesn't even have a teammate in the area, and he's brawling with both Fly Solo and Samage. The Stolen Fisher from the Rubik, the Telekinesis, Ice done for. Finally, the pesky Slaughter does end up falling. But it does take an effort from Lowkey Esports. I mean, the Tinker needs to be there. Without the Tinker, they really don't seem to have too much damage. I mean, the Razor isn't really finding his way in these fights. Samage is more control than damage at this stage of the game, and Moon with the freaking Blink Dagger on the Death Prophet will just blink forward aggressively. The Fisher there will control the Rubik. Fortune then should hold the Rubik in place, and with the nuke, the Cryptson, they'll find the kill. The Chain Frost spray down decent, but the Fate Seated blocks some of the magical damage. Though he's stealing a lot more, the Disarm will control the Troll as that's the Age is gone. Moon stealing a lot of HP with the Spit Siphon will get nuked from Teehee as well as the Lich, and there's 23 Savage with the Battle Trance. The Fisher from DJ who still got the Echo if he needs it. Teehee dropping really, really low. The False Promise keeps 23 Savage alive, but he's not going to find the Razor. Ice joins the battle as he finds Samage, but he's got the Dissimulate. He's going to get away to safety for the time being. The Corrosive is keeping tabs, but there's DJ with the Echo for Teehee. Just Teehee as Teehee falls. The Aether Remnant does control DJ, but Ice he's going for the supports first. He wants the Lich. The Sister Gaze is there. Fly Solo does find himself a little bit of time. 23 Savage still alive and healthy in the fight, but both the Battle Trance and the False Promise have been used. The Rubik does join the fray. Another Fisher coming out from DJ, but he's got to be careful. The Fate Seated does buy him a little bit of time from all that magical damage coming out from Samage. Enough time for Ice to clean up on the Lich, and now he wants back in. The Yules Will dispel the corrosive haste to dissimulate. Not there, but the Aether Remnant does hold Ice in place as Lowkey cut their losses as they lose the Razor, the Lich, the Rubik. They do, however, take away the Aegis and bring down Moon. Moon with that Blink Dagger. I mean, I don't think anyone expected it. But it worked. I mean, it really worked for him. Fnatic do find themselves a couple of kills. They did unfortunately lose the Aegis, but they're going to be okay. Just an Aegis lost, and seems as if the Oracle was there to make sure that 23 Savage doesn't suffer too heavily in these fights. Another thing about the Oracle, I mean, the Oracle looks especially good in situations like these where there's not a Storm or a Quap or even an Ember, any one of these heroes that jump the Oracle and make sure that he can't get his saves off in these fights. I think as the game progresses, Samage will look to keep the Oracle more occupied. And look at this Fnatic yet again read Lowkey like a book. They know that they want 23 Savage. The nukes and the controls are there, and the same not coming in the nick of time. Decent two-man Fisher, but I can't really capitalize on that. I thought Fnatic knew exactly what they were doing, and yeah, they're going to lose the Oracle as well. Jabs in no man's land. Moon just running straight at them, and why not? He's got Ice by his side. They should find the Rubik at the very least. The Fisher, it's going to catch 1 HC on the Razor. The Corrosive Haze upon him. The instant there from the clumsy net as Ice will bash down the Razor. They lose the Troll. They lose the Oracle. But they come out big as they find the Razor yet again, and both supports on the side of Lowkey Esports. Ice now has got his pipe complete. Moon looking to build towards that BKB, has a little bit of mobility to catch the Tinker. I think that's the rationale behind this Blink Dagger. Goes for the damage and the health, not the health regen and the health. Fnatic do manage to scan out the Razor. The Fisher doesn't connect, but DJ does secure himself the bounty rune. But yeah, this Tinker's got to be careful. There's always the threat of the Dead Prophet, the Slaughter, the Earthshaker, any one of these heroes just blinking on top of you. And a Quickening Charm. They could have asked for more, really. I mean, these are some great neutral items. I think look at some of the neutral items, right? Because you've hit the 25-minute mark. Telescope gets picked up. Good on the Oracle. I think the Oracle holds on to that one. One could make a case for the Quickening Charm on the Oracle as well. Spider Legs, great on the DP. Personally, the Slaughter also seems like a really good candidate. Speaking of the Slaughter, they do catch him. But Samage and Lucify just don't have enough damage to really threaten Ice. Tinker's got his Dagon complete, so that's more damage coming out from him. Ice. For now, they're just holding on to the Faded Brooch. The Spider Legs aren't too bad on him, right? I mean, I don't know. Whoever picks up the Spider Legs on the side of Fnatic, either the Dead Prophet or the Slaughter, they've got to make an effort to catch this Tinker. Orb of Destruction, great on the Troll. And it's been sent back to the neutral stash. So I think we might see the Troll pick it up. Fly solo, he's got himself the Essence Ring and the Telescope. And Jabs will find the Telescope in his neutral item slot. So yeah, logical choices to hold on to the respective neutral items for either side. They gave the Quickening Charm to the Death Prophet, which is not too bad at all. I mean, it's 9 HP regen. It's also cooldown reduction on the ultimate. And DJ gets the Spider Legs. That's going to give him a little better positioning against this Tinker and the Samage Void Spirit. Halberd being picked up for Sam H. I have really not seen a Void Spirit being played this way. But hey, I mean, Sam H made... What? Fly Solo, I think he got forced out of his base. The Fisher does get stolen. The Echo Slam is there just for the Tinker. The Tinker dead without buyback. The Chain Frost bounces around. DJ might be with his life for the False Promise. One suppose saving the other, as now Moon just starts running in at them. Sammy's losing a lot of HP, forced to use the Astral Step. And just like that, Fnatic pounding away on tier 3s. The Tinker dead without buyback. Lucifer trying his hardest to keep the defense going as 23 Savage gets control. But the Exorcism just doing so much work on this tier 3 tower. The tier 3 though, not the end of the game for Lowkey because there aren't no shrines to take afterwards. But still, a building is a building, and Fnatic take what they can and they start showing out bottom. Shiva's guard even picked up for Moon, so that's armor, which is great versus the Razor. There's already a serious lack of physical damage on the side of Lowkey Esports. So he's got himself armor, plus he's got the vision, which is great at catching out the Tinker in the trees. And now Fnatic, they're just going to move towards the Rosh Pit. One serious problem for the side of Lowkey Esports is that they're lacking heavily in terms of physical damage. There's no real source of physical damage. DJ with the Fisher, he's got one. They want Sam H, the bash, there, the crush. I don't think it's going to follow through, but they have the silence. Moon clutches always, silences his old teammate, Sam H. Sam H does end up falling. 23 Savage might consider looking for more. Sam H dead. I think Fnatic might just go back towards the Rosh Pit. There's no real reason for them to try and linger around and look for a fight. Just moving towards Roshan is a logical, straightforward thing to do. They might find Teehee though. This is starting to look real problematic for Lowkey Esports. The Fisher does block off 23 Savage, but hey, Moon's there with the blink. A stolen Fisher from the Rubik causing problems. DJ still chasing the Frost Shield on Teehee. Teehee still alive and healthy. 23 Savage commits his BKB. Teehee turns. Does manage to bring down DJ, while 23 Savage goes in on the back lines and brings down the Rubik. No way to cancel the TP. Just gave Moon. Wasn't quite in range to get the blink as the Razor does escape. Fnatic trades support for support. I'm going to be a little disappointed with that one. I mean, DJ's Fisher wasn't ideal. It kind of blocked out 23 Savage from reaching the Razor. They did need his damage after all. So yeah, looking at the Lowkey lineup and their draft, they really lack damage, right? It's just the Tinker doing the bulk of the damage. The Razor, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like there is a shortage of damage. Sam H doesn't provide much, just sustainability. And a Halberd, which is great versus the Troll, but feels like there's a lot of burden on this Tinker's shoulders to dish out the deeps in these fights. But yeah, Fnatic sitting with a 9,000 net worth advantage. 30 minutes in, they've got the Aegis on 23 Savage. They're running down mid with that siege creep of theirs. What sort of a defense can Lowkey muster? 23 Savage is pounding away on the range barracks. The Frost Shield doesn't quite bother him. Aether Remnant barely tickles. The March committed. 23 Savage getting forced about, damage being stolen, but a defense is there. The jabs will manage to keep him alive and healthy. It's going to heal him up and they can go again. Ice. Going for the cute little 4-staff into Crush Blade. Doesn't quite find Sam H. Very reminiscent of TI2YG. I mean, they did a lot of this back in the day. They would 4-staff their opponents and try and look for a pick-off. I remember at TI2 or around that time, the coolest things that we ever saw were 1, a 4-staff into a kill, an aggressive 4-staff, and 2, someone just sidestepping all the damage from March. Speaking of sidestepping, there's a lot that 23 Savage has to dodge. His damage being stolen, the Aether Remnant controlling him. The false promise is there. And 23 Savage is going to be alive and healthy. Fnatic would really like to try and fight around this. Sam H, he's going to get controlled. An awkward pause coming out from Moon. Looks like DJ's been lagging. Fnatic with the pause. Bit of a puppy pause, to be really honest, as DJ does disconnect. Both teams do have ample opportunity to look at this fight and theory craft the heads out, the brains out. But if I were Lowkey, I wouldn't really want to be committing too heavily on this fight. They forced out the false promise. They do not want to commit and, you know, be a victim of an Echo Slam and Moon just turning around this fight. So they'd rather just cut their losses and disengage. This is what I'd like to see Lowkey Esports do. Just run back home. And yeah, I'm going to do that. But there's Moon. As always, he catches Sam H. So silence on the money. The stun is there as well. Sam H should be okay. No real further control coming out from Fnatic. Top lane does get pushed out. Tinker does manage to sneak in a Dar. That's a level 4, level 3 Dagon. 413 is brave. You gotta give him credit for that. I mean, he's shoving out the waves as best he can. 23 Savage now has the Lotus Orb upon him, and Lucifer's gotta be careful. There's the aggressive force stuff. The Abyssal Blade as well. Damage being stolen, but not all that much. He hasn't got the stacking for a while. Samage will go in with the Resonant Pulse and the Aether Step. The Astral Step. No, wait, it's Aether Remnant and what step is it? Astral Step, yep. Tinker just keeping the push going down bottom. So, I mean, if Fnatic don't find much success at main, this bottom lane is way quickly going to be reaching the tier 3 dump. They're probably looking to make a play happen across the map. He does stroll a bit forward, but he's got reinforcements. Sam H and Lucifer in the area. Ice will man up, and why not? He's got DJ by his side. Sam H does get bashed about a bit. The Frost Shield upon him, but Ice does have the Lotus Orb. Both of them up in the air. The Dissimulate there. Savage looking to disengage with the Astral Step. Will get back home to safety. But there's 23 Savage. Cuts in from the west. From the high ground. His damage being stolen. ST with the Master Man does a fair amount of work. The Chain Frost bouncer around. 23 Savage pops BKB in the Abyssal Blade. He gets to work on one. That's a Void Spit dropping low. Dead. Silence. Samage is going to fall. He's going to buy back as well. Fly solo gets control. Gets brought down. 71 seconds without the Lich. No buyback. Jabs has a Glimmer Cape. Ignores most of the damage coming out from Sam H's Moon in the front line. Gets all his HP back with the Split Siphon. The Lotus Orb causing problems for the Tinker as he can't use the laser offensively. Fnatic though, they've won a fight. They need to keep Moon alive. The Fate's Edict will nuke or rather save Sam H, or excuse me, Moon from all the magical damage coming out from the side of Lowkey. Is Fnatic do manage to disengage. DJ trying to build towards another Lotus Orb. I mean, this is every Tinker's worst nightmare, but all said and done, they force a buyback on Sam H. They get the Lich. Still not enough for Fnatic to go high ground, but they still have the Echo Slam to work with. Dissimulate, huge DJ. Was considering going in, but didn't have reinforcements. Moon doesn't have the Exorcism for a minute. So Fnatic might just look to wait for Moon's cooldowns. The battle rounds also on cooldown. 23 Savage has been kind of unfortunate in these fights, right? I mean, he has most of his damage being stolen, and then he uses the Abyssal Blade aggressively with most of his damage missing. Great Fate's Edict at the end of that fight from the Oracle to just save Moon from the magical damage coming out from the Rubik, and Lucifer and the boys, they've had enough of just sitting passively in their base. They're going to go on the hunt. They find Jabs. They should have detection, right? The false problem is there. Jabs is buying time. Quick lift coming out from Lucifer. Fnatic, they have reinforcements arriving. It's DJ peeping in on the outpost. The Abyssal Blade there. 23 Savage will melt, and Moon with the Yule Scepter. He's caught the Razor. At the end of all of this, Jabs is still alive as they find themselves both supports on the side of Lowkey Esports. Tinker is just pushing out bottom, but not quite sure if that's going to be enough. I mean, you have 23 Savage pushing out top. The Glyph gets committed. Really a wasted Glyph in a sense coming out from Lowkey Esports. As they're going to get pushed across the map, 23 Savage should be able to push out top, while Moon with the Exorcism will be pushing mid. Actually going to focus on one lane. They've got the Lotus Orb on Ice. DJ still has the Echo Slam. And Fnatic find a lane of barracks with no real defense coming through from the side of Lowkey. They moved up top. The repair kit is there, but they don't care. The Fate's Edict gonna block the magical damage coming out from the Aether Remnant. And that's 2 charges of the repair kit being used. A lane of racks missing, and a tier 3 tower up top will get taken by Fnatic. Moon has just played like a god this game. I remember even at the major, I mean, both SEA mid laners, I mean, both Moon and Amel, they held their own versus some of the best in AU. Ice, starting to build towards an Acceptor, just wants the status resistance and the extra HP regen. Nice as always. Decent stats as well. I really don't think there's anything else he could build. Maybe a BKB. Walking up the enemy high ground, he's going to bump into Fly Solo. Respects the Lich and just 4 staffs out. Does Moon have his BOTs? No. He's got himself a heart. So he shoved out bottom a fair bit in. He'd have ideally liked to shove it out more, but yeah, Fnatic, I think they're just going to move towards the Rosh Pit. And Lowkey Esports, they're swinging bottom, but they've completely ignored Roshan throughout this game. This time there's Aegis, Cheese, and an Ag Scepter. Guess you give it to the Death Prophet, right? The Ags? Yeah. Ags and the Death Prophet, so you got the Spirits coming out with slow on pretty much every attack of yours or every spell you cast. He's got the extra attack range of the Telescope and the extra spell casting range from the Telescope as well. Game's looking real rough for Lowkey. I mean, they're pretty much just banking on Tinker, holding on to their structures and just making life difficult for Fnatic. But Fnatic don't care. There's a heart on Moon. He can just weave in and out of these fights. The Lotus Orb is there, the save from the Oracle. This Oracle was such a smart pick coming up from Fnatic. There is no answer to this Oracle. I mean, pretty much every fight, Jabs has been exactly where he wants to be. Using the falls from is exactly how he'd like. No one's really threatening him in these fights. Fnatic claim another lane of barracks. They still have the Aegis, the Cheese. They're going to smoke and start pushing out bottom. At least the Death Prophet will start pushing out bottom, while the rest of Fnatic might wait for Lowkey Esports to overextend. Moon does catch the Tinker. The Yule Scepter is there. DJ there with the stun. The Tinker dead. No buyback. That no buyback bait might be a little costly. Is Fnatic, they're forcing the fight elsewhere. Ice is in trouble or not. S23 Savage with his BKB will just start pounding away on the Razor. Ignores all the extra damage on TE, and GG, well played is called. Lowkey Esports know when enough is enough. They've really had no response to what Fnatic's been throwing at them, and Fnatic will claim game number 1 in this. It's a best of 2 if I'm not mistaken. Game number 1 in this best of 2. Anyway, folks, my name is Veewake. You're watching the ESL Los Angeles Southeast Asia Close Qualifier. I'm going to be taking a small break, and then I'm going to be back with game number 2. Do hit the subscribe button. You can find me on Twitter at @VWEWAKE. I'm going to put my Twitter out there, and yeah, I'm just going to play some music, and I'm going to be back with game number 2. Okay, folks, this is not the game I'm casting, but I'm just going to be watching this draft. Um, yeah, I mean, we're waiting for Fnatic versus who is it? Lowkey Esports, Sam H and the boys. Waiting on the lobby. The lobby is the lobby is up, but players are yet to join the lobby. So I'm just going to watch the TNC draft, see what teams are drafting. Void Spirit first phase ban, interesting. I mean, he's looked good when Topson has played him, but he's looked questionable when other folks have. But TNC is just respecting the hero. They won game number 1, which is good if you are a TNC supporter. You know what? I'm just gonna have the draft run, play some music, and wait for the Fnatic versus Lowkey lobby.
Yeah, we are in the taste of yeah.
Okay, folks, looks like we are back with game number 2 between Fnatic and Lowkey Esports. You're watching the ESL Los Angeles Southeast Asia close qualifier. My name is Veewake. I'm going to be casting a bunch of games throughout the day. Don't know how long I can keep this up all by myself, but I'm going to try till I get tired. Game number 1, Fnatic. Without breaking a sweat, take it in a rather convincing fashion. Lowkey really look like they have no answers to them. It is a best of 3, not a best of 2. In the past close qualifiers, at least the group stages, they used to have best of 2s for seeding, but at least Liquipedia on the bracket lists these as a best of 3. No, they are best of 2s. So, well, who listed this wrongly as a best of 3? I saw a listing somewhere. But yeah, we have Fnatic versus Lowkey, and then we have Signal versus GeekFam. That's going to be kicking off in 24 minutes or so, and then we have Neon versus Adroit. So a bunch of games, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games from either group going to be taking place today and likewise tomorrow. So 10 games of Dota, 1 man, 1 microphone, and 1 viewer. That's me. Okay, bands. What do we got? Puck, IO. Fnatic do play IO. Mars getting banned out in the first phase. I think it got ignored in the previous game. Mars and Snapfire. That seems like a really good pairing, right? I mean, you get the arena can get your Mortimer's kisses from range in the arena. Still a lot of AoE to juke around in, but not that much, right? Because you stray too close to the walls of the arena, you're going to get knocked around. So yeah, just a lot of area control between both those heroes. Are they a good pair as a lane though. Yeah, they're not that bad. Snapfire Mars seems like a decent lane as well. Magnus going to get banned out by Fnatic, and Lowkey, they're going to choose to ban out DJ's Earthshaker. First pick on the board here for Lowkey. Esports, it's a, I mean, if they want to go back for the Void Spirit, they can. And I open with Tiny. I like this. Can pretty much be played in 4 positions, but generally has found more favor of late as a support. And yeah, it does offer a lot of control on low cooldowns. Can be built in many ways. Can get aura items or defensive items for his teams. Can just pick up the Yule Scepter. And this game is going to be requiring a 4-staff soon. Um, Clockwork is what Fnatic are going to be opening with. Now, I do know that both Ice and DJ play this, but I'm thinking as of now that this is more likely going to be an Ice hero. We could see Clockwork SF. Some teams in SEA still run that. Not that strong, but still not that bad either. A definite advantage to the lane that Moon can use to snowball. But they're going to go Clockwork OD instead. Huh. Fnatic not afraid to reveal cores early on. I mean, they have last pick, but they're not going to keep it for the mid lane. They're going to keep it for some other position on the map. Not saving the last pick for the mid laner. So they pick up the OD. Ballsy kind of blocks other routes that Lowkey might be considering in the draft, like Morphling is something that they'll definitely be having second thoughts about. Because there's an OD that they're going up against. They pick up the Batrider. Now, this could be a mid Batrider. Does do decently well versus the OD. We've seen other teams. I believe Moon played the same matchup once where he was the Batrider and he was up against an OD. So yeah, can make life difficult for the OD. It made Enchantress still in the pool. Fnatic might want to look to ban that out. Unless, of course, they choose to pick it because they do have first pick after the end of this ban phase. So it's more likely that we see Lowkey ban out the Enchantress. Might also want to ban out the PL. Because, look, the Batrider is good in lane versus the Enchantress. It's definitely one thing you have to concede, but it can just be Enchantress as a support. But yeah, they want to ban out the PL as well, right? Because PL, one of the better laners versus the Batrider, can just get rid of the sticky napalm with the doppelganger, and there's always kill potential with PL plus a good support, say a Lich. And also OD, one of the heroes that you'd like to have if you were up against a PL. So we're most likely going to see PL get banned out here by Lowkey. Seems like a safe, solid ban coming out from them. Again, Morphling, OD, one of the better heroes was the Morphling. So if they can't have it, then I'm going to let Fnatic have it. Interesting. Fnatic ban out the PL. Ench probably going to get removed. Is there anything else that Lowkey might... maybe Lowkey want to get rid of the Slark. Slark also one of the better heroes versus the Batrider. Unless they're very clear that this Batrider is going to be going mid versus the OD. And ban out the Abaddon, which is Dispel, which is also good versus the Batrider. And what do Fnatic want to get rid of here? I mean, if they don't play the Ench, they're going to ban it out themselves. But I do know that Jabs is quite comfortable with that hero. Is there anything else that they really want to ban out? There's Ench, there's Slark, there's the Naga Siren. If they're not going to pick up too many answers versus a hero like the Naga. Spectre is making a bit of a comeback, but I don't think we're going to see much Spectre coming out from Fnatic. Did see it in the EU quals. And ban out the Arc Warden, interestingly. I didn't know Lowkey play this hero. And they pick up the Wedge. So they're just not going to rush and pick up their cores like they did in game number one, which was honestly a bit surprising because their first pick was a support. Pick 2, 3, and 4 coming out from Fnatic were just core straight up. Um, but yeah, this time they have a defensive measure versus the lasso. The swap will just disjoin the lasso target, so this game is not going to be fun for the Batrider. And yeah, I mean the Venge always has 2 charges of the swap, so good answer to this Batrider early on. You find the answer in your support, which is always nice. You this support also gives push, a stun. Really smart answer coming out from Fnatic, and Lowkey couldn't really draft to make this Batrider have a really great game, right? Because you pick him in the first phase. I mean, how much can you really ban? You can't give away the Morphling because they have the OD as well, the one reliable answer to the Morphling. And you can ban one save. They choose to ban out the Abaddon, but they can't ban all. And now Loki have to look at this Batrider as someone that's going to hopefully win his lane and not rely much on the lasso and just like be active across the map with early BOTs uh, rather than just a source of initiation. Or what Loki could do, which is quite interesting, is just run this Batrider as a 5. Just give up on this Batrider scaling and start looking for other supports. So they're going to start looking for cores and run this Batrider as a support. So they pick up the Void Spirit. I don't think you can put this Void Spirit mid. So it seems like game 1, this might be a Void Spirit that's played elsewhere other than mid. Sam H did play him in the offlane, had a really interesting build. Yules and the Halberd didn't quite see the point of it, didn't quite see it work, but maybe Sam H will switch things up. What happened in game 1 was that he really didn't have enough damage, right? I mean, it was just the Tinker. I think it was the Tinker doing the most damage for the side of Lowkey. The Razor didn't do as much as he'd like. He had the MOM and he was stealing damage and trying to dish it back out with the MOM and the Link, but still not enough. A lot of the pressure to deal damage in game 1 did fall upon the Tinker, and he tried his hardest, but both the other cores couldn't really help him beyond a point. Interesting. Omni Knight getting picked up, so that means that this is DJ who's going to be playing the Clockwork. Fnatic have a decent amount of lockdown. They have sustain, they have magical damage. With +1 that does some physical damage. They have Roche potential between that +1 and the Venge. Um, it's odd, but I think Fnatic can still swing back for a Shadow Fiend here. Not the best laner, but he's going to get the Clockwork Souls to begin with. And you could run him in the safe lane like a raid boss. And you get a lot of physical deeps. But I don't know. We may or may not see that. It's uncommon. Some teams do run a safe lane SF. But yeah, if there is a game where it could work with the Venge, with the Omni Knight to buff you up and help you, I think this could be the game. Alternatively, what do they pick in their safe lane? They could pick up the Void. You have the Chronosphere for the Void Spirit and the Lifestealer. Pierce spell immunity, reliable lockdown. You have some damage from outside the Chrono with the OD and the Venge. What a Fnatic looking for. They do have last pick. So they have all the time in the world to look at Lowkey's draft, see what they want to pick in response to what Lowkey is picking. Last ban on the board for Fnatic. I think they're looking to ban a core here. I think this is going to be a support Batrider, which means they're looking to ban out something in the mid lane. They ban out the Huskar. Interesting. I mean, they feel that the Huskar is a bigger threat. Not in terms of laning. I think the OD would be somewhat okay laning versus the Huskar. But also, there's so many beefy heroes that they really don't have an answer to the Lifesteal and the Huskar. So they're just going to ban out the Huskar. And last ban for Lowkey here. PL. Did you ban out the PL? Okay, the PL's already banned out. Naga. I think, okay, they ban out the Razor. Interesting. Haven't seen 23 Savage play the Razor. Lowkey Esports, this is where they let us know if the Batrider is a core or not. I think it's not very wise to really run him as a core in this game because of the Venge, because of the Omni Knight even. The one thing is, if you do run him as a support, he's going to most likely be played in the safe lane, right? In which case, he's not going to have a good time versus the Omni Knight. Silence, a very, very old, I mean, not old, but kind of recent counter to the OD as well, right? OD steals your mana, he steals your int. We saw some team do this, so this is going to be a mid silencer, if I'm not mistaken, coming up from Lowkey. This is also going to ensure that the lasso is a little better. See, I think the Batrider and the silencer, there is an option to switch who plays what, who plays core and who plays support here. But personally, I'd like to see a mid silencer from Lowkey. And Fnatic, they're going to close out their draft with the Slark. 413 though. Does he feel confident enough to go mid on the silencer? Lowkey really playing their cards close to their chest. They're holding on to who picks what. Well, they're still holding. Okay, so Fly Solo is going to be playing the Batrider. That means it's a support Batrider, an offlane Void Spirit, and a mid silencer. Mid silencer in game 2 of this best of 2. They really like to level the series, and they're going to place and hedge their bets on a mid silencer. I remember some team doing this versus an OD, and it worked out wonderfully. You also have the global silence, which means that the saves from Ice as well as jabs are going to be somewhat nullified. So Ice would really like his Greaves or his Lotus Orb or maybe even a Yule Scepter. I think Greaves is pretty decent. Lotus Orb is even better. But yeah, he needs a way to get rid of the silence. Jabs is going to need something as well. So yeah, Fnatic, I think as long as Ice gets rid of the silence, he can pretty much just ensure that one other dispel, at least one dispel, comes through in the form of the Heavenly Grace. And Fnatic go for a Slark. Not much in terms of answers for the Slark, really. Sure, there is a lot of lockdown, but he can have a great game and go unchecked and just sort of snowball out of control. I think he's going to be okay versus the Void Spirit. It's an okay matchup. Sure, this time they don't have something like the Oracle to just dispel the Resonant Pulse. But yeah, it's a decent safe lane coming out from Fnatic, and there's definitely kill potential between the Venge and the Slark.
So sweet.
Folks, we are live with game number 2 here between Fnatic and Lowkey Esports. My name is Veewake. You're watching the ESL Los Angeles Southeast Asia Close Qualifier. Our first series of the day, we have TNC facing off versus IO as well. TNC did manage to take game number 1. Fnatic and Lowkey. Well, there isn't much to judge previous matchups or look at stats to even try and piece together how this match plays out. Game number 1 was a storm coming out from Fnatic. Lowkey really didn't have any answers for them. This time around, though, they do something really unorthodox with this mid silencer. There's permanent in to be stolen. There's permanent agility to be stolen. This game is just missing an Underlord and a Klings. So it's DJ and Ice in the offlane. Samage along with the Tiny in Lowkey's offlane. Jabs does have the stun, so He can just stun and secure Rune here. I think it's going to be a peaceful start. Unlike game 1 where Lowkey just popped that smoke at level 1 and uh, went hunting for a kill and found first blood even. Fly Solo is going to be playing support. Now the Heavenly Grace does get rid of the sticky napalm, and DJ is even blocking the way with the cogs. So Fnatic should be able to get level 2 on ISS really soon. I mean, DJ would probably like to give up EXP and not leech from the wave. Lowkey are trying their best to block their safe lane creeps as well. Back at mid, OD versus Silencer. We've seen in the past, the Silencer really finds success in such a matchup. Wonder if 413 can prove to us once and for all that Silencer is really a counter to OD in the mid lane and in the game in general. DJ is also going to manage to snag the enemy creep wave, which is really messing with the creep equilibrium, and ISS should be okay, and not much the Lifestealer can do to really threaten him. Yep, creep wave partly kidnapped here by DJ, doesn't quite take the aggro uphill. And Jabs will have to deal with the same as Lucify does manage to take hold of the dire creep wave. 23 Savage. So yeah, both supports just trying to secure the offlane for the respective cores. I mean, if you're just looking at the CS, neither one of the two offlaners is doing particularly well. Maybe you give ISS the edge, but Samich will have this wave soon enough. Jabs is trying to pull a small camp over to the wave just to make sure that Samich can't take it and run back to his tower. Samich is incurring a fair amount of damage and he's got to be careful. Jab still has a mango to work with, so we might see a kill, possibly even first blood in this lane. Elsewhere, DJ and Fly Solo trying to go and secure that invis rune. Fly Solo will pick it up for himself. Not a single ounce of EXP going towards his Batrider. And DJ's found himself level 2, so that's small win for Fnatic in the offlane. But the Batrider can always, I mean, if he wants to, he can stack for himself. Lucify does have the Avalanche and the Toss, but it's Fnatic who are going to be aggressive in the top lane. Jabs has got to be careful. Tossed out of position. He could end up falling rather easily. Lucify once again going to kidnap the wave, and Jabs is going to try his hardest to stop this wave from being stolen right in front of his eyes. Back at mid, the Silencer dropping low. It is DJ with the rotation. 413 has got to be careful. The battery assault is not going to be enough for them to find the kill onto the Silencer, but no real turnaround for Lowkey. They do keep the Silencer alive though, so that's a big win for them. And Samich gets the wave yet again. He's now level 3. How's ISS doing? Level 3 himself, inching closer actually to level 4 than Samich. I think it's safe to say that DJ's done a better job here than Lucifer, because DJ's found himself EXP as well. He did force out a rotation. He's level 2. The Batrider still searching for his level 2. T not doing too bad in terms of CS. 23 Savage up there as well. Just a couple of more denies to his name. The mid lane does seem to be a bit of a whitewash, because 11 denies on the Silencer is a bit unusual. So Moon just not having the best time. And Jabs and Lucifer, I mean, they've been going at each other since the very beginning. DJ with the Cox, he's found T. He's got to be careful. The battery assault is there, and DJ will drop first blood. Fnatic making it look really easy. I mean, both cores just got into this odd rhythm of just farming safely with the wave being pushed around. And DJ just catches T. He's snoozing, runs at him, finds a kill. First blood, and they couldn't have asked for a better target. Lucify's found himself level 2, but he's got to be careful. The battery assault 2 points in it. DJ could actually just run him down. DJ, though, wants his courier and the tranquil boots. Doesn't quite care about the tiny. Cares more about the 5-minute bounty rune, I guess. Those of you just tuning in, you're watching the Southeast Asia Close Qualifier for the ESL Los Angeles Major. Fnatic, they did manage to take game 1, but Moon being tossed around has got to be careful. The Glaive's hurt, and that's permanent intelligence being stolen away from the OD. The OD just getting dumber bit by bit. Yeah, this mid lane, man, it's been real rough for the side of Fnatic. I mean, Moon just not having the start he'd normally like. And kills elsewhere as Fly Solo gets picked off. Down bottom, T is dropping really low. He's going to mana post his ice, but DJ does have the Tranquil Boot, should be able to run him down. The cogs are available. The burn damage from the cogs should be enough if DJ wants to use it, but he'll go for the rather safer route. Just commits the battery assault, gets the kill, a double kill on DJ. You do not see Clockwork looking so good normally. But yep, Lucified will manage to find himself an Observer Watch. So, I mean, the boys on Lowkey are trying their hardest. There is a heavy battle going on for vision in that top lane. Apologies, folks, was just trying to fix something in OBS. But yeah, we should be fine now. Was a little bit distracted. He's found himself his javelin. But he's suffered 2 deaths, and just by virtue of that, I think it's safe to say that Slark has got off to a better start at mid. Clearly, we have a winner, as the Silencer has heavily outdone Moon. So, this is an OD playing from behind, and that is the least fun way of playing OD. As Moon pretty much has to play catch-up. They really need to shut down the Silencer. And Jabs and DJ know, and Jabs with the rotation has the magic missile. How much more damage can come through from Moon? He doesn't have the Scientist Eclipse. The Global Science committed the avalanche there, but there's DJ in the fray with the battery assault. The toss not ideal as Lucifer tosses 413 to his death. The tips premature because they know that the Silencer is dead. He's gone for, but he's still doing a fair amount of damage. Finally falls to the magic missile, and DJ trying to close the gap on the Tiny doesn't get what he was looking for. But Fnatic are more than pleased with that one as they find themselves the Silencer. The tips hurt as the Tiny Airlines is not quite what it was made out to be. And Jabs is searching for more. I mean, cancel the salve at least, right? So, moral victory for him as a support. JZL, Lucifer is going to be so pissed about that one. Literally toss the Silencer to his death. Yeah, this is more Malaysian Airlines and less Tiny Airlines as the Silencer gets tossed into the middle of nowhere, ends up dying. Now, Samich up top, he's out of mana, does have a Mango and 1 Astral Step. DJ is just going to try and force that out of him. No way of cancelling his TP, goes for the cogs. Doesn't quite find him. How's the off lane looking for Fnatic? So, Ice is clearly done better than Samich. But the real cause for concern is how heavily 23 Savage has outfarmed this Slark. Fnatic definitely getting a better start here in these lanes. 1000 net worth advantage in their favor. And I think if you look at EXP as well, yeah, they're pretty even in terms of EXP, but you can see 23 Savage up there, 2 levels above everyone on the server. He's been getting uncontested farm. And Lucifer tries to sneak in the outpost before the 10-minute mark. There isn't anyone to really stop him. He's trying his hardest to just be a nuisance. While 413 just pounds away on the mid tower. Samh now level 7. Looks to play with Savage. Fly solo though. It's finally hit level 3. Finds Jabs. This should be a kill. Jabs does have a magic missile cooling down. 8-1 charges and a tier 2 tower that's by his side. Looks for the stun, doesn't quite get it, but he's got the spirit in the afterlife. Lucifer should end up falling. The global silence committed, but for what? He wants DJ? That is not worth it. And heck, he's not even going to get DJ as Ice comes in to the rescue with the purification. Keeps DJ alive. The silencer dies yet again. He had a great start, but he's starting to kind of throw away his advantage, and Fly Solo trying to secure the outpost should be successful. DJ there with the battery is all looking for the kill, but the infest damage that hurts, and DJ, well, he's not too concerned. He's got reinforcements, 2 cores to his aid as a purification, as well as 23 Savage's rotation. At least will net them a kill. They do have the top outpost, so they get that EXP. And they get a kill bottom. More permanent agility for the Slug. Moon getting gone upon amid the Aether Remnant there. He's trying his hardest to sidestep that Aether Remnant, but he doesn't quite succeed as Moon dies at main. More int going the way of the Silencer. And the OD just becoming dumber and dumber. Back down bottom. 23 Savage just running at Fly Solo. Maxed out that pack. He's got a lot of damage and a diffusal blade. Fly Solo might just be dead here. Yep, he's dead. 10-minute diffusal blade threads. This is a scary timing. That Lowkey have just got to respect. But they're just going to start pushing out the top lane. Samage diving a bit recklessly. Jabs is there. Not quite level 6, so he doesn't have the swap. Moon with the defensive Astral. Not quite defensive. He's hoping to stay alive, or at least bring down the Tiny before going down. Does manage to find the Tiny. The purification. Is it in range? No! Ice really wanted to ensure that his OD stays alive. Doesn't quite succeed. Samage getting gone upon. DJ with a hook shot onto his own teammate. Not quite the player that he was going for, but it might be enough to net the kill as the battery assault ensures that they find another core. Moon gets a kill. They do manage to find the Samage, Void Spirit, and down bottom 23 Savage. He's looking for this Batrider yet again. He's low on mana. Thread swapping is hardest, but doesn't quite find the mana to pursue for the kill. Jabs wants that level 6. I mean, with 12 minutes in, I guess the tomb was given over to DJ. But yeah, 2000 net worth advantage. Fnatic clearly the ones making the moves across the map. I mean, it's safe to say that no one can really approach 23 Savage and the lane, or whichever lane he's sitting in. It can't just be one hero showing up in lane to shove out the way. They're going to need a +1, and they're going to need to kill this Slark soon. I think 23 Savage hasn't died a single time. Yep, 2-0 and 1. He's up there in the net worth charts. And I guess Lowkey are going to be a little conservative about the Slark until they get a 4-star. They'll find Ice though. The last word is there. And Ice does end up falling. But elsewhere, down bottom, 23 Savage does manage to find the Batrider at the very same time. Jeez, this Slark has forced the dead lane for Lowkey, and they really can't go deal with the Slark all by themselves. Samage goes in, but 23 Savage will immediately start to work away on his mana. The Dissimulate, buying Samage a little bit of time. Lucifer in the trees. The Global Silence committed. The swap not available. There's Samage going in with the Astral Step. He really wants to bring down the Slug, but the Shadow Dance comes through. The Aether Remnant doesn't quite connect. Swap from Jabs. He's trying to juke them. Can't quite survive. Will end up falling. The Dissimulate enough as Samage could look to chase for more if he did have an Astral Step. A lot of heroes move bottom. They commit the Global Silence. They find only the support bench, as the Slug does barely manage to escape by the skin of his teeth. I wonder if there's a case here for 23 Savage to start building towards an early BKB. Because right now in the game, as long as he has a BKB, there's no way he dies. But you don't want to get it too early either. So I can respect the decision to just build towards the Ags. He's queuing up a Manta style, which is interesting. You don't see too many Slugs build into that item. I think here is just a response to the Global Silence and the last word. So he has another Dispel to work with. But it's certainly odd. Not that bad though, right? I mean, he's still burning mana. Ice walks into the enemy jungle, gets greeted by 3 heroes, a whole lot of pain as well, but he's still alive, and somehow Fly Solo gets picked off elsewhere on the map. Ice making a lot of space, and now the hookshot comes through from DJ. He's found the Tiny. Tiny will manage to toss him out, and DJ just melts. The Avalanche does manage to clip a bunch of them. 23 Savage wants in. He's been silenced. He's got the Dark Pack, but the damage from Savage a bit too much. The Astral Step will ensure that for the first time in this game, 23 Savage ends up falling, and 413, just laying in the damage, will find the Venge, while elsewhere the Lifestealer cleans up on Moon. This fight going horribly wrong for Fnatic as they lose everyone with the exception of Ice. Fortunately, though, for Lowkey, I mean, I'm not quite sure what happened to Ice. I think he just backed out of that fight, but maybe if he was in the vicinity, if he could get the Guardian Angel off, could have been a different fight there. But yeah, Lowkey win the fight. The Silencer stays alive through all of it. More ain't going his way. And for the first time, 23 Savage gets caught a little unaware. So yeah, the Manta style, great, gets rid of the global silence, helps with the last word as well. And yeah, I mean, all the illusions do burn mana, so if you do manage to connect the bounce, then use the Manta style aggressively, you can do some serious damage with the Diffuser Blade and the Manta style. Personally, it's unique. I've just never seen it before on a Slark. Those of you just tuning in, you're watching the ESL Los Angeles Southeast Asia Close Qualifier. My name is Veewake. I'm going to be trying to follow as many games as possible. Really depends on how long my voice can keep going. But yeah, for now, this is game number 2 between Fnatic and Lowkey. And for the first time in 1 1/4 of a game, Lowkey Esports have themselves a net worth advantage. They even have a decent read as to where Fnatic are on the map as they do manage to scan them out. Just 413 in the trees, and he's got himself a 4-star. His team sitting behind him. It's 23 Savage running in. The rocket flare doesn't reveal anyone. Flies solo. Does have the lasso. Lucify though will go in with the parcel. The Lifestealer jumped in the middle of the fight with that infest as Savage is starting to steal stats. He's got to respect the fact that there's a global silence upon him. They fight into the global silence, but 23 Savage still alive and healthy. Turns towards Fly Solo. The rocket flare there as they bring down the Batrider. Now they want Samage. The cogs are there. Will manage to catch the Void Spirit, but he's got the Dissimulate. Will buy time. The hook shot will whiff as elsewhere. Ice gets swat down by Lucify and the others. Moon in the midst of the fight. Another Astral Step available for Samage in a bit, but he's got the Dissimulate. They will manage to bring down Jabs as he gets swapped out of position and ends up falling. Teehee working away on that clockwork, but DJ will barely manage to escape from that. Fnatic lose the Venge in the Omni Knight. They did bait out the global silence. The good news is that the OD and the Slark didn't end up dying. So they're going to be somewhat okay with that. They've got to respect the fact that they need something like a BKB or a Use or a Greaves or anything of that nature to really just get rid of the global silence, because that's what's really winning these fights or even allowing Lowkey to have a chance in these fights. As Lowkey, they're not going to give up that jungle of theirs. We'll get the D ward off. They have another ward overlooking the river and the bounty. Unusual ward spot, but effective. And Savage is just running at them, knowing that the global silence isn't online. He's just going to work away and Fly Solo. He's got the Heavenly Grace. The Pounce will connect the Avalanche there from Lucifer. He's got the Life Shield inside of him, but Lucifer, as well as Lowkey, will just cut their losses and escape. Hi, Notepad. What's up? Fnatic find themselves a kill. And a lot of this mid-game is going to be decided by how 23 Savage plays this. What? Okay, my bad. Moon gets picked off. I think he wasn't expecting that, right? Because his team was chipping away in the mid-tier 1 tower. And I mean, it'd be logical to expect Lowkey to put up some kind of a defense. But nope. Lowkey just forfeit their mid-tier 1. And they find themselves Moon. Moon's had a rough game, but he's got his 4 staff complete. Knows he needs a BKB. Savage finds himself the Vampire Fangs. Not bad. Fly Solo in the area. They commit the drum charge. They want this Batrider. They're going to force out TPs. Fly Solo loses most of his mana. 23 Savage a bit deep, but he's got Ice in the vicinity. The Global Sign's committed. He gets the Shadow Dance off. This is huge. Lucifer could have tried to catch him with the Avalanche, but that's a Global Silence committed, and they find nothing. Now they can go back in. 23 Savage could go back in. DJ could get things started with the hook shot if he finds a decent angle, but nope. Fnatic okay to ease a bit and relax and maybe go back in another time. Up top, Sam H and Lucifer will claim the outpost. Sure, touch and go right now. I mean, I feel like this game is going to boil down to the next big fight. I mean, this is a game that can swing anyway, right? And I feel like in certain games, in certain situations, the Silencer can actually outcarry what Fnatic are running right now. He's got an answer to the Slark. This is really going to boil down to individual decisions. I mean, can the Slark just play a better game than the Silencer? That's pretty much it. Sam H, he's still going the tried and tested route. I mean, he built a Vlad's in the previous game. Builds up Vlad's again, but this time around he's going for an Orchid into a Nullifier. Not going for the Halberd, which he went for in game number 1. 23 Savage is going to be able to find this tier 2 tower. Lowkey Esports, so they want to smoke and try and defend this tier 2 tower. Both supports are under cover of the smoke. A swap wouldn't be a bad way to get things started. The hook shot also an option. TPs are starting to come in. D on the retreat, no one to really close the gap. Jabs still trying undercover the smoke. DJ with the hook shot. He's found the life stealer. The cogs decent. There's Silencer though, pounding away on the clockwork. Clockwork in his own cogs will get swapped to safety. There's the Guardian Angel keeping DJ alive a little while longer. He's still alive and healthy. They've caught Lowkey Esports in a really odd spot, but Lowkey are looking to disengage. Moon coming in from the east. There's the Halberd, making sure that the Slark is kept occupied while Jabs gets worked upon by DE. Jabs will end up falling his spirit. The only thing remaining in this fight is Sam H as well as Lucifer will go upon Moon. Moon will not get a chance to even get the Sandy's Eclipse off as he ends up dying. The Lifestealer infested in a creep is just running at Fnatic. They have no vision of anyone. Savage and the others couldn't quite find the kill, but there's Lucifer. With the Avalanche, the Heavenly Grace will make sure that 23 Savage is alive and healthy. The Aether Remnant does disrupt 23 Savage and ensures that they can't quite get to work on that tiny as Lowkey Esports find Moon, find the Vengeful Spirit, and incur no losses as they should be able to get this tier 2 tower as well. Yep, they find the tier 2. I mean, if you look at the close qualifiers for Southeast Asia, you'd probably put Fnatic as one of your logical choices to move on to the major. But I think SEA is never a region that's quite as straightforward as it seems. Everyone is so neck and neck in terms of skill that yeah, we could see this game and this open qualifier in its entirety just be a bunch of upsets. DJ and Moon, they found one down bottom. It's He, most of his mana being burned, but he's got the Halberd to ensure that Moon can't do all that much. The magic missile there. He has the rage, walks away. No scare. Sam H. I mean, even if DJ goes in with a hook shot, can't really kill Sam H. He's got an easy way to deal with the cogs. Jabs though with the swap, they found one. They're working away on the Silencer. He does manage to commit the Global Signs. They'll toss Slark up in the air. The Silencer's still alive. Savage really wants 413. He's trying to bring him down. There's the Silencer dead. Moon will fall as well. ISS is alive and healthy, but he works away on him. The Maelstrom will proc. A hook shot on the back lines as DJ tries to bring down Fly Solo. The Battery Assault is there. The Batrider has nowhere to go as the Batrider ends up falling, but Sam H, meanwhile, manages to clean up on Ice, and DJ going for the TP will not be allowed to do so as the Aether Remnant will hold him in place. DJ all by himself will go back to the grave. As heck, 4 heroes from the side of Lowkey get credit for that one. That's communism at its finest, folks. But yeah, Fnatic, they get the Silencer, but it cost them heavily. They lost Ice. Moon is just not staying alive in these fights. I think if Moon gets that one item which is going to allow him to stay alive, I guess the logical answer would be a BKB. If he gets a BKB, these fights are really going to change and start swinging in favor of Fnatic. Savage with the Axe Scepter will not find the Tiny. Man, Lowkey so committed to not giving Fnatic any vision in the jungle. This is probably the second time I've seen them deward this damage. He's found the Venge, but the Venge finds herself an Invis rune, and Jabs should be okay. Did hear an Infest. Yep, it's Samich as well as T here on the hunt. He's definitely had a much better game in this game 2 as compared to game 1. And with the Orchid, they've got a fair amount of pick-off potential. I mean, if they get the Aether Remnant onto Moon, they should be able to ensure that he dies before he gets the Hurricane Pike off. 23 Savage and the others pushing out the mid lane. Lowkey looking for a way into this fight. Fnatic smoked up in the vicinity. They didn't quite spot Savage. I'm not quite sure what that smoke was, but 23 Savage, he's found the danger man. He's found the silencer. He has a shadow amulet. 23 Savage will try and work away at him, but the halberd is there. 23 Savage kept occupied, and the global silence will get shrugged off. The dark pack time to perfection, while Savage elsewhere will manage to bring down Jabs. It's 23 Savage versus the world, and the world is not a kind place, as the lasso will again get dispelled by the Aether Remnant. Holds him in place. There comes the Guardian Angel. 23 Savage really wants to fight this, but it's just him all by himself as the Orchid finally comes out. He does manage to dispel the global silence. He does manage to dispel the lasso. But it's clearly still not enough for him to carry his team in these fights. He's really getting no assistance at all. I think DJ and the others were... What the hell? Where's his music playing from? Okay, hold on, folks. Okay, I figured it out. My bad. So yeah, DJ and the others, they wanted no part in that fight. Yeah, random music. Sorry, apologies. DJ and the others, they wanted no part in that fight. Like DJ and Moon just cut their losses and ran. It was just Savage trying his hardest to keep that fight going. But yeah, Fnatic playing on the back foot here as Lowkey find themselves the Aegis as well. They badly need these BKBs. I mean, Moon needs his. The Slark is not going to be building one. Back at mid, Ice gets gone upon. The Avalanche is there. He's got the Heavenly Grace and he's got a defensive swap if he needs it. Teehee with the Infest will manage to dodge the Magic Missile, but there's DJ with the hook shot. They won this creep. They won the Life Stealer. The Cogs will push him back, but Teehee's got the Rage if he needs it. Playing with the Slark, he'll toss out the Halberd and maybe even look to turn if there's more lockdown on its way. But Fnatic, right now, struggling to kill anyone on the side of Lowkey Esports. I mean, the easiest kill for them is probably this Batrider. One issue for Fnatic is that, I mean, both the Slark as well as the Clockwork goes so deep. Even to an extent, the Vengeful Spirit, it's hard for Ice to just keep up with them. He's building a BKB, but I honestly feel like he needs a blink to just make sure that his cores are alive and healthy when they go in. It's not like he can run at them and do damage himself, right? I mean, he's just it's not like he's got a Sanjanyasha or a Radiance or anything of that sort. So he probably wants to just shrug off the global silence and help his cores dish out damage. Moon getting closer and closer to his BKB. The Enchanted Quiver not too bad on the OD. He'd love himself the Mindbreaker. I'm just going to quickly look at what they've found. So they found the Titan Sliver, which is on the Slark, so more status resistance for him. The Orb of Destruction, not too bad on the OD. It does slow, which does help his cause. Lowkey though, they've had the Aegis for a while, they haven't done too much with it. And DJ is starting to find out the hard way that there are just so many answers to the kind of lockdown that he provides. Tiny can toss DJ out. Tiny can also force staff himself or one of his teammates out. Sam H has the dissimulate. The Silencer's got himself a Hurricane Pike. Fights are starting to look more and more rough for Fnatic as Jabs on the high ground will break the smoke, but it's him being sacrificed here. Clearly. The Mindbreaker's there. Jabs has no friends in the area, and Sam H, he's looking for the next target that he can find on the side of Fnatic, and he's found Ice Ice Ice. The Orchid is there, and with the Avalanche and the damage coming out from the Tiny, they should find the kill. They smoke, they find the Venge. Fnatic would have really liked Ice 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 to get out alive. I mean, Fnatic read what Lowkey were up to, and I think Jabs had like agreed to just sacrifice his life. 23 Savage, he was not expecting that. The Mindbreaker does cause problems as well, but he's just pounding away on the Tiny. His reinforcements are on the way, but I don't think Moon wants any part of this. 23 Savage still working on the Tiny, gets the kill. Gotta respect the fact that Sam H does have an Orchid to work with. The Aether Remnant, he's gonna be sidestepped, and now he's got the Manta style. The Pounce doesn't quite connect. Mana being burnt on the Batrider with those illusions, but what's important is Fnatic find the kill, and Savage gets away. Fnatic's still not out of this by any means. They're still trying. Savage going for the Abyssal Blade. Gives him a little bit of HP. Gives him some ability to go on a target without the pounce, and make sure that the Shadow Blade on the Silencer doesn't come through. DJ's even carrying detection just to make life difficult for the Silencer if he does get the opportunity to go up on him. Fnatic though, oddly, they're the ones that pop a smoke. Jab should be able to swap Fly Solo. Nope, level 2 swap. Doesn't. Oh, there's the swap. They find Fly Solo, the pounce connects, Fly Solo is dead. Ice 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 is also getting closer to his PKP. I mean, Ice 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 had a decent start, right? But you can see the difference between him and Sam H. Sam H has just kept farming away, and Ice 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 is not farmed as fast as he'd like. Fnatic claim the southeast outpost. And Lowkey looking to set up for something. It's almost as if they read Fnatic and they think that Fnatic are going to walk through those trees. This is a Radiant Observer watch, so they know where 23 Savage is, and 23 Savage should know that they have vision there because the Shadow Dance didn't quite proc. Seems like he's going to be baiting them. The scan does clip, so Fnatic know exactly what Lowkey are up to, and they're going to back off. Fnatic with this one Observer Ward, well, did get a little bit of information, but Lowkey sports a sentry. Just timed out. Value sentry. Fnatic time and time again have been trying to get vision in the jungle, but it is just so hard. Every time they drop an Observer Ward, Lowkey are hell-bent on dewarding it. And Fnatic know that they can't play the southeast part of the map, so they just move back to the primary jungle, play on that part of the map, take control of that outpost. This is still a Radiant outpost, so they do not have the luxury of peeping into that outpost and trying to sneak around their opponents. Lowkey Esports with a 4,000 net worth advantage. Mjolnir, Albert, Abyssal complete on the Lifestealer. Not Abyssal, excuse me, Skullbasher complete on the Lifestealer. Silencer hasn't made much progress past his Shadow Blade, but looks like he's going to be building towards a Hex. 23 Savage with the status resistance and all the buffs he could ask for in this world. Just runs at the Batrider. Doesn't quite bring him down. There's an Astral committed, and they find T-Heat. He does manage to get the Rage. He's working away on jabs. The Mindbreaker will silence the Venge, but the Force Staffs are there. Fly Solo blinks in, but the bash immediate from 23 Savage as the Batrider dies. No buyback on him. Sam H wants in. They will manage to bring down the Venge, and there's DJ with the hook shot. Pushes the Silencer out of position. The Hurricane Pike not enough. Moon for one stays alive for the longest possible time that he's managed to in these team fights, as the Tiny, least held in place, will force staff and try and run away to safety. DJ and the others do have detection though, as they do manage to find the Tiny, and Fnatic win a fight. Moon didn't even commit his 10-second BKB. Really unfortunate for Fly Solo though. I mean, getting first hit bashed by 23 Savage was just not what he was expecting. He did blink in and he was looking for the lasso, but the immediate bash from 23 Savage just held him in place. And Fnatic win a key fight. They're starting to punch back themselves. I think we might be in for a long, exciting game. Samich has got the nullifier though. Banished there from Moon. Don't think he has too many reinforcements. Samich will just go in. The nullify, the arcade is there. DJ there with a hook shot. Batrider on top of the OD will manage to get the lasso, but a defensive swap ensuring that Moon stays alive. The Heat does come out with the infest and jabs. I think he's going to sacrifice his life, but he's just manning up here. He's got 23 Savage in the vicinity. The halberd there. He will commit the Manta style. And he will be able to bring down Samage so they don't lose Moon. And now Fnatic can look for more. Samage not on the map. They know that Fly Solo is all by himself. 23 Savage has the axe. An insane amount of gap close. And if nothing else, a clumsy net from DJ will hold Batrider in place as they find another kill. Claim the southeast outpost. More map control going the way of Fnatic as 23 Savage is starting to snowball. They found another though. Moon does manage to find the Tiny. And this should be yet another kill. As long as they have detection, there's nowhere that Lucifer is going. And the Tiny ends up falling. 63 seconds without him. Just like that, Fnatic have punched their way back into this game. If this were a movie, this is when you cue Eye of the Tiger. This is when you cue the comeback story. Because Fnatic, they're knocking on high ground. And it seems as if Lowkey don't want to fight this. I mean, the Life Stealer is just pushing out bottom. He's now going to TP back. But I think you let this go if you're Lowkey. He's got to respect the fact that he can just get swapped out of position. And Fnatic take the tier 3 tower and back off. Still not the end of the world for Lowkey Esports. It's only a tier 3 tower that they've lost. But Roshan, that's really what's playing on both these teams' minds right now. Going to respawn in 44 seconds. Both teams are going to prep and try and get in position. Fnatic with a distinct advantage in terms of vision. And if they pick off Fly Solo alone, this could be disastrous for Lowkey Esports as the Batrider is dead. The pit is wide open. Heck, they could go in for more, but they're going to show some respect. This ward really paying dividends for the side of Fnatic. MVP ward. Because Fnatic can now go Roshan. They're not the best at taking Roshan. Or they could just play around this ward. I mean, if they go off map, Lowkey are never going to be sure whether they're just sitting in this jungle or whether they've gone Roshan. And they probably have to smoke if they want to go and contest either parts of the map. So they're going to scan Roshan. They know that Fnatic's not in the pit, so they're not going to leave their base. But that's their precious scan wasted. And Sam H on a fact-finding mission, trying to find anyone from the side of Fnatic all by themselves. Doesn't quite get rewarded. But yeah, Fnatic, they're just going to move back into the pit. Lowkey Esports, I really don't think they're even going to be able to get there in time. I don't know, I mean, if they want to go, it's go time about now. DJ could even throw a rocket to maybe catch that smoke, but nope. Lowkey do manage to get the smoke off. The Dire, they've scanned the high ground. Fnatic know that they're really not going to get there and try and muster defense, but they are smoked up and they are outside their base. Maybe Lowkey could try and take them by surprise and force a fight. Nope, it's just Fly Solo skipping the creep wave. He's had a rough game on this Batrider. And Savage shipping away on the barracks. The Aegis on him. He's got himself the Abyssal Blade as well. So 413 can't get too reckless. Can't stray a bit too far forward. The Heavenly Grace is there. The status resistance from the Titan Sliver as well. Savage is just pounding away on the racks. I mean, Lowkey, when do you make your play? Then first toss 23 Savage. The Mindbreaker silence will proc, but he's got his death back and he's going to get away to safety. He can go back in. The Aether Remnant is there. That does make things awkward. But he could just dark pack and walk into it. 6,000 net worth advantage for Fnatic. The top lane starting to push in as well. Nope, they're just going to back off with respect. They're actually pinging outposts. I think they want the 40-minute EXP. And I think at the 40-minute mark, you have 2 siege creeps coming down the lane. Yep, you're going to have 2 siege creeps walking down mid. So they could look to push with the 40-minute siege creep. I think that's the timing that they're looking for. And a pick off before all of that would be absolutely divine. DJ did scout out Fly Solo. Fly Solo in no man's land has got to be careful. I think the rocket did whiz past the Batrider. The Dire, they're going to expend a scan, and that Molotov should give away the Batrider's position, but Fnatic, they're not entirely sure as to where Lowkey Esports are, where all members of Lowkey Esports are on the map. Versify is going to be able to escape. No 40-minute EXP for you, Lowkey. And yeah, double siege creeps. It's go time for Fnatic. Aegis, double siege creeps, all the debuffs, and all the buffs you could ask for. And a Silencer who's still searching for his Hex. I mean, he had queued up the Hex, but he's gone for a Moonshot, just more physical DPS. Witless Shackle. What? Fly Solo? No. No, come on. I mean, he gets picked off for nothing. That's the real problem. If he did manage to at least do something, like get a lasso off, I'd be okay with that. And Lazify doing the same as he gets found outside his base. Both the siege creeps are still alive. And the Tiny is dead without buyback. This is really problematic. Samich has got to push mid hard. Doesn't manage to bring down the siege creeps. And Fnatic even glyph their wave. They know they've got this. ISSI starts pushing out bottom. And this is so next level. Moon and Jabs just sitting in the enemy base under cover of smoke. This is some next level stuff coming out from Fnatic. If they find a core now, it is officially the end of Lowkey in this best of 2. But even if they don't, stuff is looking really dire for the Radiant. Fnatic are just going to swing bottom. No buyback on the Tiny. I mean, you forfeit this, right? What can you do? I mean, a whole bunch of range creeps, 2 siege creeps as well. The repair kit being dropped, but no more multi-shot on that repair kit. So the wave's going to be healthy. And even the Silencer can't really get too far forward because he could get swapped. The Abyssal Blade is there. There's no save of any meaningful value on the side of Lowkey Esports. Samich is going to go in. They want the fight. They commit the global silence. They're pounding away on the bench. It's only Jabs, but they want Jabs. They still won't find him. Savage goes in on the back lines, tries to bring down the Silencer, gets bashed yet again. But there's DJ with the hook shot. He's found the Silencer. Will push him out with the cogs. Yet another hook shot as he brings down the Silencer. That is a buyback forced on 413. They do manage to bring down the Aegis on the Slug, and Tiny's respawning as well. This could be a decent fight for Lowkey as the Tiny's starting to TPing in. The dead pack there, 23 Savage will dispel all the debuffs placed upon it, and Samage surges forward with the Astral Step. Once good old eyes has eyes, the Aether Remnant. It's caught 23 Savage, but the purification is there, and Moon comes in on the backline. He's still got the hammer if he wants it. He'll bring down the Silencer, the Nullifier on Ice, but that just doesn't matter as Savage has the Heavenly Grace and the Abyssal Blade. The Avalanche will catch 2 for a bit, but Savage can disengage, dissimulate. The only thing keeping Samage alive, but for how much longer? Well, for long enough for Teehee to get the Abyssal Blade going, but Teehee out of mana, out of friends, out of luck, has nowhere to go, nowhere to hide as he's man-fighting the Slug, but it is not a man-fight he can win as he ends up falling while Tiny gets picked off by DJ. Fnatic, I think they've done this. They've won this game. There's no buyback on the Tiny. The Silencer dead for 77 seconds. It's all up to Samage and Teehee. How great a jump can Samage really get? And is there any meaningful jump that can even win in the game? Back at mid, Savage, he's found the Batrider. That's Fly Solo dead for 77 seconds. And they have tabs on Samage with that Rocket Flare. DJ, he's got himself an Ag Scepter, so that's the overclock coming into action. Refreshes all your cooldowns, then you stun yourself. It's unusual, but I think it works this game as Savage just leaps over to the top lane. Fnatic can smell it. A 2-0 is in the air. And this is a great way for them to start off their matches. Back in mid, Samage, he's going to find Jabs, but honestly, Jabs is not worth all that much. Teehee, not quite isolated, will try and use the Abyssal Blade, but elsewhere, Samage dies. Sandy's Eclipse more than enough, and GG, well played, is the call as Fnatic will kill the Lifestealer for style points. They win the game 2-0, a very hearty comeback coming out from the boys on the side of Fnatic. As Lowkey Esports clearly getting outclassed here. They did have a lead, but the moment Fnatic got their BKBs and Moon just stepped it up a notch, they made it look so easy. I'm honestly thinking what game to jump into. We have Neon versus Adroit. I'm just going to look at the brackets. I'm going to share the brackets for you guys as well. Yeah, so just considering options, yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking what match should I jump into? Neon versus Adroit or Signal versus Geek Fam? I think I'll do Signal versus Geek Fam. It's going to be going live in a bit. I'm going to be jumping into Signal versus Geek Fam. I'm going to give myself a small break, get some water, change the stream title, and come back for Signal versus Geek Fam. I'm going to leave you guys with a little bit of music, and I'll be back with Signal Gaming versus Geek Fam in the ESL Los Angeles Southeast Asia close qualifier. My name is Veewake. My Twitter's, well, it's written on your screens, and you guys can give me a follow on Twitter. I'm really open to your feedback. If you have any feedback, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be back in a bit with Signal versus Geek Fam.
limp, 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 limp,